Hey guys, this is Robbie.
And this is Anthony.
And this is the new Ask Amp thing, the video that I released last week. So we're just going to go ahead. I collected all your questions off of Facebook and YouTube, printed them out, and folded them neatly inside of my little beanie.
Don't mind
here.
the T-train.
Yeah, we're kind of filming outside because it's about 80 degrees, so it's kind of nice out. To get your questions in for next week, comment on either this video or the post that Anthony puts up on Facebook. That way we can see your comment, we can get to it really easily, and then you can be in the video for next week. So I guess I'll start. So this is a long one. For the last year, this is from Kenny P on Facebook. For the last year, I've been an owner of a Polar Star. For the last 6 months, my local field, Strikeforce Sports, Long Island, New York, has been switching the settings of all P-Star users. They switched the DR to 50 and the RF to 50, making P-Star terrible. I have video proof of these terrible settings on my YouTube channel, Oasis Airsoft. What is your opinion of these changes, and do you think this could destroy P-Star's reputation down the road? Thanks. If you want to talk about it a little bit.
Well, first of all, field owners, since it's Airsoft is all localized to wherever it's from, field owners, whatever they want to do, they can do for their field. I mean, the only thing I can say is that if you don't like playing there and you don't like what they're doing to your particular setup, I mean, you don't have to spend your money there. You don't have to spend your business there. I mean, I don't know. Like, I run stock settings on my Polar Star, so I don't really, for the most part, so I don't really know.
Yeah, and I'm guessing they did that probably because it was getting abused a lot, which is unfortunate. Unfortunately, a large portion, or a significant portion of P-Star users that I have seen do run super high rate of fires and do abuse the system a little bit. So that's probably what gave them the incentive to do something like that. And that's unfortunate because most of the time stuff like that comes from a lack of knowledge from the field. I'm not saying that in a derogatory manner. It just seems like whenever stuff like this comes up, the field doesn't know the technical aspects of the Polar Star and they don't know how to correctly change the problem, because cheaters are going to cheat no matter what. Changing someone's settings is going to help with that, but they're going to find a way no matter what.
Which drives me crazy because it's not like you win anything anyway.
No, it's not a contest.
You don't win anything anyway.
So,
so whatever.
So hopefully that answers your question. Obviously, if you guys have any other questions, we can go further into this in the comments. We're just going to try to keep it moving here. So,
all right, let's do this. What do we got?
Put that over here.
From Anthony, good name.
Yeah, solid name.
Solid. Do you feel you have more fun when using an AEG or a gas blowback compared to a Polar Star? Or is pooping on people with a P-Star just too fantastic?
I like that one, actually.
All right, so the first thing is that I have sold nearly all of my other guns, so I don't really have a whole lot of stuff. Right by the T-train. Hello. Hey, I got a wave. All right, cool.
Hey, really?
Yeah, I got a wave. All right, someone likes me.
Excellent.
All right, so I don't own a whole lot of other stuff. I'm going to be real serious. I have a gas blowback pistol, and then a Polar Star, and then a 203. Generally, when I run my Polar Star, I try to keep it on stock settings. I usually maybe run a 3-round burst. I'm not full auto, and I shoot the majority of the time on semi-auto. I feel that the system performs so great that I don't need to run on full auto, because instead of shooting 60 rounds at somebody, I can put 2 rounds on somebody and get the same effect. So I've cut my ammo consumption by probably 2/3. But that being said, I generally try to make the gameplay as fair as possible whenever I go to a game. I bring both sets of uniforms. I go to the team that has the least amount of people. It is fun. Oh, it's so much fun though to poop on some dude, especially when you're playing against people who you feel are at your skill level, and then you feel like you can get away with using all the tricks.
That's sort of how I feel about it too. I mean, if you're playing like we have a local place, Steel City Airsoft, we go down there, and using a gas blowback pistol or an AEG or something that restricts you a little bit is fun there, because you're not going up against for the most part, you're not going up against national level players or people who, I don't want to say stand a chance,
the
but
money.
Exactly.
They spend money. I feel that go to NatOps, people spend money.
I feel that when you go to a national event, you should do everything you can to get yourself on the best level that you can possibly be on, because it's not it's competitive. There's no prize, but it's definitely competitive. So I feel that on the national level, you should do everything you can to give yourself the upper hand.
Well, because everybody else is doing the exact same thing.
Exactly. So you got to keep up with the game.
I think 1/3 of all the people who go to Lou events now are running Polar Stars.
It's true. And to answer your question from me though, I do think it's definitely more fun, given the right circumstances, running a GBB or something with a lower mag capacity in that instance. But at national events and games where everyone is shooting as far as you and as quickly as you and as accurately as you need something that can compete. So
I mean, I don't know. I just don't own anything else anymore.
And there are some goofy ones in here. Oh, I didn't get a goofy one yet, but there are some goofy ones in here that I will answer. So could you go in depth about inner barrels and hop up and what you would recommend? For that,
Well, I guess we'll have a caveat here. Are we talking about AEGs or are we talking about Polar Stars?
Yeah, we'll probably do. We actually need to do a video on that anyway.
We should probably do it. It's just a
So,
whole video.
tell you what.
We can gloss over. Let's gloss over real quick.
That was from Jim F. We're going to do a more in-depth video. So with inner barrels and hop-up, so that really depends on the setup. For the Polar Stars, you'll see that we push the Orga 63s a lot. That's because the Polar Star emits so much air that the Orga allows greater air cushion around the BB, which tends to improve performance a little bit as far as accuracy is concerned. That said, though, Type 4 barrels, like an isotoper barrel such as the Prometheus, still shoots very, very well. You technically get better air consumption anyway because it gives you the ability to run at a lower PSI, which saves you air in the long run. But the Orgas do tend to shoot, I'd say, probably the best out of, if you're buying one outright.
I would say like my Orga shoots really far.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people with tight bores shoot a little bit more.
It all depends.
Like, their range is less, but their groupings are tighter.
It's definitely all gun specific.
It's all, yeah. I mean, it's really hard.
All depends on the gun, and then inner barrels and hop up. Hop up, we pretty much we switched over to pretty much 100% pro wins because
if you're an M4 guy and you want an aftermarket hop up, Pro Win's the way to go. It's not super expensive. Well, the big thing is compared to the Prometheus, it comes with all the parts.
Yeah,
the Promi doesn't come with all the parts. So the Pro Win, you get everything you need to build it and run it. So why wouldn't you do it when it's cheaper?
And then of course we do the Promi purple buckings for everything. So the Pro Win and the Promi purple are definite. And then for the Orgas, most of the time we do the flat hop setup because it's a direct drop in with the Orga barrel. With Type bores, people ask me this all the time, so I'll cover this real quick. With Type bore barrels, there's a pretty significant amount of modification you have to do to the bucking to get a flat hop, or in some cases an R hop in there. R hop's a little different, but with flat hop, you have to shave off since normal AEG barrels don't have that second cutout that you can just turn the bucking on.
Yeah, Orga you can take the bucking and just turn it. Then you're good.
Because you need
Type bore, you can't do that.
Because the goal is to get a nice flat section of the bucking, and to do that, to be able to turn the bucking on a normal barrel, it doesn't have that cutout. So you have to shave off all the internal extremities, that little alignment arm that's there, and the built-in nub. You have to shave all that down like pretty significantly without tearing the bucking. Then you have to turn it. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt for some people to do it that don't have the tools. Yeah, it shoots great. The flat hop shoot great, but
it's cheaper. Well, I wouldn't say it's cheaper.
Yeah,
it's about the same price.
Yeah, the nubs, and you see people all the time.
It's more time.
It is, and that's the thing. That's the thing with R hop. People say R hop is technically cheaper, but it takes a lot more time than doing flat hop. So
are you dedicated to doing that?
Are you dedicated?
Because if you want to take it, here's the problem: is if you want to take it to a shop, generally shops will charge you work hours to do work. So if you're going to take it to a shop, are you prepared to pay 2 or 3 hours worth of bench fee?
Yeah, and then a lot of people like Hunter Seeker 5, who pretty much started the entire thing. There's a lot of private guys that are licensed by him and licensed themselves to do it.
They're a lot better at it than most people.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are pretty darn good at it.
Jonesy from Airsoft Ohio does a good one.
Yeah, he does good ones. So, all right, keep it moving, I guess.
All right, let's do this. What do we got next?
So throw this one off to the side here.
All right, from Cobra Airsoft, because I guess we got people dropping in on our video.
Yeah, people are hurling. So,
would you prefer a KWA LM4 or a Wii Open Bolt M4? I would take the KWA. There's a few caveats to that though. The Wii has more parts available for it, but I feel that it's not made of as nice of a quality. The KWA is a much higher quality gun, but the problem is it has a lot of proprietary parts, so when you break them, you have to get KWA parts. Like,
yeah, the Wii rifles are nice. I actually can't really... I've played a lot with the KWAs, but I can't speak a lot for the Wii because I haven't really shot a whole lot of them. There's actually a couple of the guys here that run... Zach on the sales floor. He runs a Wii 416, but he has it all pretty much... Well, he's looking at getting it decked out with RA tack, and that's what a lot of the Wii guys seem to do. They seem to...
Well, it's more universal.
Exactly. They buy it for the shell, and then they drop the RA Tech parts, which are extremely nice into it, and they replace all the internals, and they shoot great at that point. But as a stock gun, I'd probably have to go with the KWA as well.
Yeah, well, they do have that new Mega Arms one that's coming out.
I want to do it. That thing looks sweet. The Mega Arms, I'll see if I can throw a picture, annotate the picture in, but it's a... it's based off the legit Mega Arms, which I've had a thing for a while. But it's a billet style low receiver. It has
all one piece.
I believe it's a monolithic upper.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's awesome. But okay, so
Gucci level 12.
Brian A. is
it's one of my friends.
Yes. So this is Robbie Logan Arnold's secret boyfriend. The answer is I'm gonna leave that a mystery.
Leave that a mystery.
Not gay. So.
Spooning leads to forking. I think you can get a do-over.
I'd probably be happier if I was gay. But
oh, is this one directed towards me?
That's one for you.
Oh, this is Aaron Brick B. Well, I almost said his whole name. Oops. Hey Anthony, since you said ask a question, why does Greg always ask for my ID? All right, so Aaron is a local guy, and Greg is one of our upstairs guys, and Greg
is a
stickler for doing things the right way. So, is it still good? Yeah, so yeah, I told you reformatting it would be fine.
This is our first time doing a video this long on our camera, so
I'm making sure
that the camera has enough recording space.
Greg is a stickler for rules, and Greg is doing things the right way, so stop giving him shit.
There we go. Okay, next up, see if we get another...
Get a serious one yet?
Okay, a couple of these are going to be really decent. So this one's, Brian M. says, what about expanding the business, opening up another shop, moving locations? I think Amped has the ability to go nationwide, exclamation point. That is 100% true, but unfortunately...
well, right now we already ship internationally. We sell to a lot of people overseas.
We do.
A lot of people also use us as a dealer who have businesses overseas for Airsoft as well, so they get a lot of their product from us. We would like to get another store, but right now we got to take it in baby steps. I mean, we got to start by getting everything. We have a lot of stuff in the pipe. Let's put it that way. We have a lot of stuff in the pipe that we're working on, and we got to get that stuff rolling first before we start doing other things.
True that.
So,
all right.
Please don't. We're recording.
I'm gonna cut.
Please don't.
I'm gonna cut there real quick. I wouldn't go.
We can edit out most of our goof assing around.
You want to yank the next?
Is it
one?
recording again? Did you hit record again? Okay, it's a whole bunch of potato today. Hey, this is the first one. Give us a minute.
I'm gonna cut it there, so they actually didn't even see that.
All right, what is your favorite gun you have had in the store?
Uh-oh.
All right, so my favorite gun. Well, I mean, I own a Polar Star, and I bought it from here before I worked here. But we'll exclude that. We'll completely exclude Polar Stars. No Polar Stars. Just bone stock, like from the shelf gun. I've been legitimately impressed with the Echo 1 AKs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all really nice. I was pleasantly surprised. Like the R700, really, really nice. Has a folding stock, polymer, gas block rail. It's metal. It's got trades.
It is.
I'm already over all the 416s and stuff because I see them every game.
Everywhere.
Every game I go to, I'm already over that. Yeah, I do like the AKs.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go way back. Let's see. We had a...
I do like the LM4s just because they're sweet. Not practical, but super cool.
Let's see. At one point, I guess I'll say my two favorites. At one point, we actually had a guy come into the shop. He was an old friend. He bought, a while ago, like years and years ago, he bought a Tokyo Marui SIG 550, and if you're not familiar with that, it's actually a pretty rare gun nowadays. They've been out of production for a long time.
Years, like a couple years now.
They have technically mechanical burst. It actually was one of the first guns to have any sort of FET or MOSFET unit. What it does is it takes the input from the hop-up unit, directs that to the MOSFET unit, and then that allows you to program your burst. And there's a little knob up top, and you can program that it has semi-programmable burst and full auto. That was pretty revolutionary. We had one of those come in here. I actually ended up buying it off the guy because I fell in love with it. That was probably one of my favorite guns I've ever had my hands on. Unfortunately, it was old. Performance wasn't... It shot like a Tokyo Marui, but due to the fact that it was old, it was creaky. Performance wasn't really what I wanted it to be.
All that plastic.
So it mainly sat in the corner and looked pretty, and then I ended up getting rid of it. So that was probably... I said that was my favorite. When we first opened, I've been working at AMP for well over 3 years now, coming up on 3.5 years.
Dinosaur mode.
We had a lot of old... Like, the old classic armies were always my favorites. We had a couple
pre-09.
Exactly. We had a couple of antique, like, I'm trying to think. I'll mention in the description, but it was an older version M60. It had the plastic gearbox. It was a top. That's it. It was a top M60, and that thing was... I mean, you don't see a lot of those anymore. So just cool guns like that come in every once in a while, and I love to see those.
Yeah, we get rare little one-offs that people have us order for them.
That was a used gun. We got that in as a used gun.
Oh, really?
So, okay, what are your favorite cheese crackers? I must say, I do enjoy the peanut butter ones. I actually don't like the cheese-filled crack. I don't know. What do you think?
I go straight peanut butter.
I don't like the
I don't like the cheese ones because the artificial cheese
gross.
generally tastes like butthole.
They are gross. So
if I had to imagine what butthole tastes like.
That was from Omega C, old friend of the shop. Love you, Bobby.
Trolls.
Let's see.
That's a big one. Wow. Okay, you just cut it real lazy.
We'll save that one for a little bit. I kind of taped this one again.
Oh, what is this?
What? It was on 2 pages. Don't hate me.
All right.
Don't rip it.
This is from Cobra Airsoft. What are some of the gotchas on putting a Fusion engine in an MP5, and what brands work the best for the conversion? Okay, so first step is as nice as they are, you're probably going to want to avoid the VFC ones, because that's the latest and greatest from Umarex. Problem is that those have a mechanical burst, so they have an extra stop on the selector switch that the Fusion engine just doesn't have a ability to use. So you'll have markings on your body, and you'll have a little bit of play in your selector switch, which will mean nothing to you. First thing you got to remember about an MP5 is that you're going to have to get an MP5 nozzle. You're going to have to switch the selector plate over to the MP5.
You have to have a Gen 3.
Gen 3, sorry.
Or newer. There might be a Gen 4 down the road.
By the time this comes out, yeah. So you got to have a Gen 3 or newer Fusion engine. You have to use the AEG selector plate off of the gearbox and the AEG trigger. You need the ambi bar, don't you? Or does it come with the ambi?
That depends on the setup.
It depends on the body.
That depends on the setup. Yeah. So, yeah, because MP5s, they sit weird, so...
There's a lot of finicky stuff. I don't suggest it unless you're very tech-oriented.
Yeah. By the way, we have not reviewed any of these. We're just literally pulling these out of the hat and reading them off. So if there's any misinformation, bear with us here.
Bear with us. We didn't prep much.
So, are you shoving these? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just shoving them under there.
Alrighty. Uh-oh. Sam G says, and this might, I'm not going to give away your full name. I think this is a YouTube comment, but what is your ideal parts list for a high rate of fire airsoft gun besides a Polar Star? I guess I'll talk about.
Yeah, because I don't. Usually when I ran a caveat when it comes to tech build stuff, generally I run a lot of my stuff stock because I break things very easily, and I don't want to spend any money. So
wise choice. So basically, the latest trend in the high rate of fire world is the DSG. You'll see the term DSG a lot. What it stands for is dual sector gear. Essentially what it is the sector gear, which is the gear that contacts the piston inside of the gearbox. It has two sets of teeth on it, essentially doubling your rate of fire. Now when you're doing that though, you have to have a super heavy spring, because think about it, it only pulls the piston back halfway of where it needs to be. So it pretty much cuts your FPS down a significant amount too. Like we're talking half, if not more.
Hundreds of feet per second.
Yeah, so you really gotta throw in, a really heavy spring to get any sort of considerable
a full
FPS.
cylinder.
There's a lot of things you have to do. So for a high rate of fire gun, I'm personally not a high rate of fire guy. I've had guns shooting.
Semi-auto, bro.
The fastest gun I've ever owned shot 30. It was shooting around 400, 420. It shot about 32 rounds a second on a big 9.6, a 5,000 mod 9.6. And that thing was
so my fastest AEG was shooting 370 at 24 with an 8.4.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the stock, right?
That was all stock. That was a stock GMP. That's all it was.
Yeah,
and I just ran that thing till it blew up.
As far as that stuff goes, when I build high rate of fire guns or when I build an AEG, this doesn't seem to be common anymore. I like to use really, really nice parts. I stick to pretty much Prometheus everything. The Siege Tech gears are really nice, but Prometheus is sort of my go-to brand when it comes to internal parts for guns. So I've used a lot of those in the past. So, Prometheus high-speed gears. I like the deep fire titanium rack pistons. Also the Modify quantum pistons are really nice. Full cylinders is dependent on gun, but pretty much Prometheus parts are the way to go for me. Motor-wise, I like the old system of Magnums and system of Turbos. I know people like the new Lonex motors a lot. I haven't gotten to play around with those a whole lot yet. I'd like to get my hands on one. But the old Magnums are my favorite. The GMP motors are also really nice, like the M170.
The 90, the Satan or whatever.
M180, yeah, the M180 Satan's a pretty crazy motor. So, next one.
All right, I got one from Brad. It says, he's probably referring to your previous video. Is that a microphone cable snaking up your shirt, or are you just happy to see me?
Brad's my man.
Well, today with the microphones right here.
You can't see. I am very happy to see you, Brad, but you can't see below my chest today. So
let's go for another one. We only got like a few left, so what's this one? We'll skip that one. Okay, do you ever think you will put a shooting range in or around the store for testing and shooting products? This is from Shaler Airsoft. Right now, in this location, probably not. We don't have the space. Oh, we didn't get one that time. It's empty.
Empty. Oh, no, they wave.
Oh, there's one?
Conductor wave.
Oh, that counts. See? So, we don't have the space for it. If we did, we'd put one in, but we don't.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we go.
That's all
we do have a chrono station, and we do have
chrono guns here. We test fire things, but that's as far as we'll go into that, I guess.
Secret location.
Secret location, very ninja.
Ryan B says, will you guys be moving to a larger store in the future? in order to have more room for more equipment. That sort of goes back to the question we had before. We'd like to. Right now, though, we still have a lot of space to fill out our existing store.
And we have a lot of projects.
The way our store's set up, we have the storefront upstairs. At one point, I really want to do a walkthrough video and show you guys exactly how our store's set up and go down and show everybody downstairs.
Now the downstairs where I live.
Once we get everything relatively organized, but we have our upstairs, which is one side of the building. Then there's an identical part of the shopping center right next to us. It's a 2-building shopping center. There's another part. It's a chiropractor right next to us, and then downstairs
we own almost the whole bottom half of the
we
building.
own pretty much the entire bottom, which is the same size as both sections upstairs. We own both of those, so we're pretty much 3/4 filled in our building right now. But if we move next door, we have pretty much space forever. I mean, that'd give us plenty of space.
We got a new conference table.
We did get a new conference table. We actually have a conference room now, which is nice.
It's pretty swag.
Yep.
Let's see here. Was this the?
Hey, give me a sec. Put that down for a sec. I'm just checking.
16 gigs, bro. It's still going.
Still good.
Still good.
Okay.
All right, so we got 2 left. So here, you take one. I'll take one.
Read that guy.
Read this guy. Oh, you got a good one. Yours is real big and stuff. This one's from Ian.
So we'll both take this.
What is your personal preference for gear, plate carriers or chest rigs? All right, I'm going to be real honest with you. I spent a lot of time in the military, and I've used a lot of different stuff. So it depends, whatever I'm in the mood for. 1 year I rode chest rig and smooth plate carrier underneath for ever. Last year I went for a small low-profile chest rig and a backpack. This year I have a APC, which you'll be seeing in my operator video pretty soon. And then with my APC, I have a clipped-on Haley strategic chest rig instead of pouches. I go all over the place. I have preference is more so whatever I'm in the mood for at the minute. And when I do my video, you'll get to see I have a lot of crap that I need to get rid of. So
yeah, most of us do.
There'll be like 3 different versions of my loadout video.
Yeah, but I'm sort of the same way. I've gone back and forth a lot. My first rig ever was like I think it was a Fly 1961A in Coyote. Then I went to what did I go to? I think I went to that's right. Actually, my first chest rig, it was an LBT. I don't remember the exact plate carrier type. It was an old one though. It was the LBT law enforcement chest rig. Then I got that. Then after those 2, I moved on. I got a Mayflower APC. Then I went to a Cry JPC. I had both those for a while. I ended up getting rid of both of them. So I had a Cry JPC. Went to a Blue Force Gear Rack Minus. Then I have what I have now, which is the first Spear Strand Hog, and it's really what I prefer. What's up? Nah, go ahead.
Nah, that's all right. It's time
You're
to
good.
go.
Oh, sorry, guys.
It's all
It's
hey,
cool.
no
Do your
big
thing,
deal.
man. We're gonna leave that in because it's fun.
We have neighbors. So yeah, I went to
Let's
that.
see here.
Now I have my first Spear Strand Hog. So to be honest, chest rigs are nice. The problem with the 2 benefits I see of a plate carrier is you get to. I mean, you don't really get to carry more stuff though. If you're on like a chest rig and backpack, you technically carry the same amount of gear. But plate carrier is nice because they're all one unit. You're not like a spider web of stuff on you. You know, you can just 2 straps.
I was gonna say, let me think. What do I got? So, I mean, when I first got out of the Army and I first started playing Airsoft, I was super poor. So I went from having like Eagle Industries everything to getting a Pantac Wasatch because I was cheap. And then immediately from that Pantac Wasatch, I got an Eagle Universal Chest Rig and an Eagle Low Vis Armor Carrier, which I still have. And I had my issued Camelback Mule Backpack. I had my, I picked up after the fact a Black Hawk 3-day assault pack. I still use that. And then I went from there. I ran that for like 2 or 3 years, like consistently. Then I went from there to, well, I got my Polar Star, so then I needed something to carry around my tank all the time. So then I went to, I got a Banshee, and I got the Ares Combat 12 backpack, which I still use. Got rid of the Banshee, picked up the APC. I've been floating back and forth between my Eagle stuff and my new stuff back and forth. You know, I have a lot of stuff. Pouches on pouches for days from all different companies, different brands.
Yeah.
I've tried everything at least once.
Yeah.
Blue Force, and I've spent much money.
And
So much money.
To be 100% honest with you, plate carriers are nice, but you have to make sure they're balanced. If you have with a lot of plate carriers that, you know, like the Strand Hog hasn't really given me issues, but plate carriers I've had in the past, like the JPC, which has made to carry a lot of weight. Even my APC had issues with this. Even with plates in them, which helps with stability a little bit, you still have an issue where it sucks. Like if they're imbalanced, if you have more weight in the back than you do up front, it tends to suck the plate carrier up and choke choke the hell out of you. So that's something you have to keep in mind with chest rigs. With chest rigs, hey, take
Don't
care.
worry about
It's
it.
all
Man. Do
good.
what you need to do.
So with chest rigs, you don't have that issue because the backpack's a separate system. You know, it supports the weight properly on your back. Then you have your rig on your front with all your crap on it. So that's the one. That's a big benefit to chest rigs that I see.
Yeah! Yes! I got a honk. Just one-upped you. You got to put that in there, by the way.
Technical difficulties. The basic synopsis. After I was done talking about the chest rig, the camera cut out for some reason. We need a new camera pretty bad. But basically, it supports the weight. You know, it's separated. You know, people run them incorrectly. So if you see someone running like a belt rig, chest
Help
rigs
them out.
Yeah, help.
Don't,
Chest rigs
don't
usually
be an asshole.
Chest rigs are usually meant to be worn on your chest as opposed to the stomach. It distributes the weight properly. You still have all your mobility.
Unless it's the Haley, because for some reason they give you
the Haley
straps that are like this long.
That's one input. If Travis Haley somehow manages to find this video on the internet,
should tag him in it. We'll see what happens.
I love the rig's awesome. The only thing I have, I know it's mainly a lot of the times it's built to be run on a plate carrier and for bigger dudes, but for toddlers like me, frontal adjustment is really a big thing to adjust the height of it, because with the way it's set up right now, you have adjustment on the back, but
yeah, it came with straps that are like, they're seriously like 3 feet long, and like it sits low on me, and I'm 6'1", 200 pounds, and it sits like right here on me.
Yeah, unless Travis Haley, unless you want to show us the design feature and absolutely pwn us, but so what's last?
That's yours. That's the last one.
Drum roll. What is the best? Oh, I already got this, didn't I?
No.
It's
similar.
This Dusty May says, what is the best hop-up / bucking / nub combinations to use as a polar star? Also, would you recommend using the Orga as opposed to a smaller bore barrel? Thanks a lot. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dusty.
All right, well, we're going to start with the barrel. Here's what I'm going to say with the barrel. You have to think of it in two terms. With the Orga or versus a tight bore, you have to look in terms of two things. Do you want performance with the Orga, or do you want air efficiency with the tight bore? Because the tight bore is going to give you good performance, but it's not going to be as good as the Orga. But we're talking in like small amounts. So like if you don't care about air consumption at all, get the extra 5% benefit out of the Orga and just run it. Because it's a great barrel. It's really high quality. I can't say enough nice things about it because it's what I run. But I also work here and I get air fills for free. So if you want more air consumption, let's say you play a lot of events like Black Sheep where you're playing for a whole day straight, and you only have like 2 tanks, and you got to make that stuff last as long as possible, you're going to want to go with a tight bore. Because a tight bore, since it's going to give you a tighter bore, it's going to use less air to push your BB down the barrel. You can run your regulator at you can run it at like half of what I have to run it to get the same amount of power out of it. So it's just something you're going to have to take into consideration. So then from there, me personally, for either barrel, I would go Promi Purple and the Namazu flat hop, and then the Pro Win hop-up chamber. You get the most performance for a fair price. You can get the Prometheus chamber. It's a nice chamber. You need parts from your old hop-up one to finish it. And 2, it's a little bit more expensive than the Pro Win. The Pro Win, because it's CNC machined, some brands of receivers might have issues fitting it because since it's perfect and your receiver isn't, you could run into some issues.
I've never really seen any Pro Win fitting issues. I've seen a few. But
I've seen a few, and it's mostly in like lower end bodies.
Yeah,
so
but,
like, I mean, not to harsh on people that run them, because I mean, whatever. But like, if you're running something that's like low end stuff, like no name bodies and stuff like that, or maybe stuff from like JG or something like that.
Well, JGs are actually, I mean, people run Pro Wins and JGs all the time, and JGs are actually fairly nice. So
all the ones I've seen have had problems have been like Matrix bodies, JG bodies. I've seen a few Echoes have body issue problems with the fitment of them. I mean, you can probably smash it in there and make it work.
It depends. It depends on the gun.
Like,
so.
everything's different. I could talk all day about what would work, but whatever.
Well, we're at 32 minutes. So
32 minutes. I think we've covered everything. We could probably cut that down and get a lot of the ridiculousness out of there. But we have to keep the train honk because that's pretty epic.
I'm leaving it.
Just leave it. You can figure it out.
If you want to see your questions answered, you're going to endure.
You're going to endure all of this.
You'll figure it out.
Especially the cheese cracker questions and
all right, so
microphone questions. Come on, man.
Like I said before, I mean, if you want to be in next week, just comment in the video below or comment on our Facebook page on our post that he posts up. So if you scroll on the page a little bit by the time you see this, scroll down to the post where he shares this video. comment on that post or send us a
comment on
message.
that post that I post this on
or,
Facebook.
Or you can send us a message if you want it to be more
private message
private.
if you're a little bit more shy. Feel free.
So we don't disclose last names if you show us on Facebook. We will show your name if you are on Google or YouTube, though, assuming it's not your actual name. So this has been Robbie.
Like Brandon High. That's not his real name.
No, it's not his real name.
No.
Say bye.
All right, well, this has been Anthony.
I guess we'll see you guys later.
Later. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. Buy stuff, because we're awesome, and I need you to pay my paycheck.
That's true. Give us your money.
Please. Let's do it.
Good stuff.
Cut it there.
There we go.